Hey, thanks so much for checking out this video. And today I'm going to show you how you can list a digital product on a WooCommerce shop on your WordPress site. So let's get started. So first you need to download the WooCommerce plugin if you don't already have it. And so this would be the plugin here. And then you want to enable any of the payment gateways that you would like to have for your shop. We've got the integrated WooCommerce payments that I use, the PayPal payments, and the Stripe payment gateway. So those are the three that I use on my site. And so you'll need to make sure that you install them and activate them to get your shop set up. So then next we want to go to the WooCommerce settings, which you'll find on the left side menu. Under WooCommerce, you're going to click on settings. We'll open up to this main settings page here, and you can see there's lots of different tabs. So you want to be sure to go through each tab so that you can configure all the different settings that work with your theme for your WooCommerce shop and for the product type that you're selling. For the sake of today, we're just going to cover the basic settings that are needed. So on the general tab, you want to fill out all of your store information, and you want to enable tax rates and calculations if taxes are applicable to you where you live. You want to set your currency options at the bottom, which I've set to US dollars, which currency should be to the left of the decimal point, and there's going to be 2 decimals for the cents. So then you want to go over to product. And then in products, you're going to name your shop page, and you are going to go through all the settings to set up however you want to customize your shop page. At the bottom here, you can enable reviews and you can enable star ratings, but then we have these little sub menus. So this is where it's really important. We're going to go to inventory next. And then for inventory, if you have stock, you can enable this. For digital products, you don't want to enable this because you don't have stock. And so therefore, you also don't need to hide any out of stock items from your catalog. And then the stock display format, I have never showing the quantity remaining in stock because my stock is endless. Downloadable products is the key part here for digital products. And so I leave this as the default to force downloads. Access restriction, you can choose how you want them to be able to access. For a little more protection, I choose downloads require a login, so that you need to actually log into their account to access the downloads. Open in a browser, you can have it open in a browser instead. You can have a unique string to file name for security. This is just auto applied automatically. I just leave that. And if you want to limit your downloads, you can look at this setting. This is for partial downloads. So if only part of the file was fetched, would it count or would it not? So that's totally up to you and your store's preference. So we're going to skip this one. There's nothing needed, and we'll just have a peek at advanced. And for advanced, enable table usage. So this allows product attributes lookup if you set up attributes in your product section. I don't, but I leave it checked anyways, just in case. So you can go through the other stuff and see if anything else applies to you there. Then you want to go to your tax, and you want to set up any tax settings that are required for where you live. And so I use the automated taxes, and then WooCommerce walks you through a table that'll help you set it up. So you can read more about that here. You can also choose whether you want your prices to include tax or not, and whether you want it to be shipping based or payment based for the address. These grayed out sections are grayed out if you choose the enable automated taxes, then you can only select these options. And then this is what you want to show beside the dollar amount. So I can show you my shop here. So that's the USD right here. For payment, this is where you would go in to set up your payment methods from the plugins that you added. So you want to make sure and you enable them, and then you want to go in and manage and do the setups, connecting it to your bank. Accounts and privacy. So this is where you can choose different settings. So for checkout, I enable login during checkout. For account creation, I allow them to do it during checkout and on the My Account page. You can send a password setup link when they create an account. So you can just go through this and select the different options that work for you. And if you have any personal data retention specifications, you can set them here. Go to the emails tab. This is where you can configure all the emails that are sent from purchases and different types of order features. So you just want to make sure that you enable any of the ones that you want, and on the right you can click manage, and then you can actually customize what is being sent in the text for all those different emails. Integration is only needed if you've integrated like an email service provider or something like that. Then you'd find that configuration under this setting. Site visibility is important to make sure that your site is live. So you want to make sure live is chosen rather than coming soon. And advanced we want to go to, and this is where you're going to set up your pages. So you're going to link each page to a page with your site, and then these are the checkout endpoints. I believe I left these all as default, but you can edit them. They just don't recommend that you edit them after you've set them once. So once you've set it, don't come back and edit it because it can mess things up a little bit. Of course, every page you want to make sure you click Save Changes, and you might have another add-on like this. This is theme specific, so this isn't specific to having a digital product, it's just something for my theme. And then you have webhooks, APIs. Here you can access WooCommerce and any of their extensions and add-ons. So you can go through all these different settings, but the ones that I've covered are the basic ones that you would need in order to get a product listed on your site. So now we are going to go up to WooCommerce and we're going to find products underneath, and we're just going to click on that so it loads the product page. Is what our product page looks like, and of course I have products already listed, so that's what you're seeing. You might not see this. This is tied into an SEO tool that I use called Squirrely SEO. These are tied into Yoast SEO, the free plugin, so you can use that to get an idea on how your SEO score and your readability are. To add a new product, you're simply going to click Add a New Product at the top. And the nice thing about WooCommerce is that it's very similar to a blog post and how you would enter a blog post. We're going to do a product I've already done, but this is just for an example: mental health and well-being journal. So this is the title of the product, and this will show right here. And we're just going to find the same product. I've already listed it just so I can show you what part belongs to what. So this is the title that we typed in at the top here. Product description, this will be your main description, and so that will show here at the bottom. However long you make it, that's what'll show up here. I'm just going to get my copy that I already have, and I'm going to just copy and paste it. And then from here, you would do whatever SEO changes you want to make. And then we're going to scroll down. So you have two columns, so to speak. You have your main page here in the center, but then you have this column on the right, and both sections need to be gone through. So I typically work from top to bottom down the main center, and then I do it from the right side after. So scrolling down, this is the SEO tool that I have, so you won't see this on yours. If you have a different SEO tool, then you might see it on yours as well. So then we've got Yoast SEO, which is the plugin I use. If you use it, you can put in your focus key phrase, and then you can go through its suggestions to help optimize your product. So down here, you can choose the layout settings of your product. So what that means is how it's going to display on this page here. You can have it default however your theme settings work, or you can force it to look a different way. And so this is like what we have in the setup here with the right column. But if you want it to be just open like this, side to side, you would just choose the canvas one here. Now, choosing with these sections would basically add like a side menu here to these, depending on whichever side it's showing. I typically select this, but this is actually the default for this theme, so I just leave it. Down here, so product data, you want to make sure it's a simple product, and then you're going to go virtual and downloadable if it's a digital product. You can also do a grouped product, an affiliate product, or a variable product. If you have like different variations, or you want to promote an affiliate product, or you want to group products together, that sort of thing, you can do that here. So then these are all your menu options for your inventory. First, you want to put in the regular price, $10. We'll just add in here. If you wanted it to be on sale, you could put the sale price here, and you can schedule it from date and to date. Downloadable files, you want to upload the file here. So you would upload if you don't already have it uploaded, and then you would click on it and insert file URL. And then you can name it. So this is what they'll see in their accounts. You want to make it really obvious to what it is. And then if you have multiple files, you can add multiple. Maybe you have licensing that you want to include as well. So you can add as many lines as you need to include all the different files. Download limit, if you want to set a limit, you can. Most digital products are unlimited. That's what I do, so I just leave it blank, which is unlimited. And I don't put an expiry for my downloads either, but if you do, you can put the number of days here in this spot. Mark if it's taxable or not based on where you live and what type of tax class, whether it's standard, reduced, or zero. If you're not sure, I recommend talking to a tax professional in your area. So then we've got inventory on the left here. If you want to SKU or to set up a UPC or anything, you can do that here. The stock management would be managed here, but we turned it off in the main settings. Your stock status, I have it always set to in stock. And for digital products, I do check this off to limit purchases to 1 item per order. That way someone doesn't accidentally add a digital product to the cart more than once and pay for a quantity of 2, when really they can download it as many times as they want. So they don't need to have the purchase as more than 1 quantity. There's all these different options here. I don't use any of these. Linked products, this is where you can add in upsells and cross sells that it will show at the checkout screen. The upsell is here, you may also like, and then the cross sell is what you see in the cart page. And it says you may be interested in, so whatever you select there should show here. It might look a little different in your theme, but wherever it would show on the cart page in your theme is where you would want to add it here. So then you just type in whatever product you want. You need, I think, a minimum of 3 characters for it to show up. And then you can scroll through your products and just select whichever ones apply. And you can do that for both sections. Attributes you can set up. I don't use this, but you can if you want to specify different attributes for your product. Advanced, if you want to put a little purchase note. Menu order, so what order it shows up on your shop page. If you want reviews enabled or not, and if it's a brand name, you could put that here. More options is just showing you different options for extensions and plugins that you can purchase. In most cases, they're paid options. And then Pinterest is a plugin you can get as well for free, and you can connect it to your digital product, and essentially it'll help auto create pins for you once you get it all set up. And so if you have this one on, you would just want to select your condition as new, and you want your Google category, and the only category I could find close was digital software. This is the closest, digital goods and currency, that I could find. So that's what I use. And then scrolling down further, the product short description. This is going to be what shows right here at the top of the page, this little short blurb. We are going to get my short blurb here, and we're going to paste it in. And then this is just scripts, if you have any scripts to add, and if you have like an email service provider connected, you can work with that down here as well. So this is everything for the main section. Now we want to go back to the top, and we're going to go down the right side. So does this page need to be excluded from Google Analytics? You want to check that if it's like affiliate related. For your own products, it's fine. This is only showing because I have Monster Insights on this site. So if you don't have that plugin, you won't see this box. this would probably be the top box on your page. And we're going to go down and we're going to categorize if you want it to be in a category. You can also set up your shop page to show categories, but for simplicity, we're just looking at a product right now. For this, it's a personal use journal. So I just want to find my journals and then product tags. So this will show here underneath the short description. Again, each theme is a little bit different, so it might show a little different for you, but in mine, this is where it shows. So if you have a SKU, this is the SKU, and then category, and then tags. So I have keywords right here, and then paste it right here. As long as they're comma separated, you can paste them all, and then I'll add them all individually. So then if you have any other types of plugins that affect this, you'll see them on here and you'll need to configure them all. So I just added a Google for WooCommerce, but I haven't set it up. So there's nothing to do with this one. This is where you're going to set your images. So product image, we're going to put our main image. And so, of course, you can click over here to upload it. If it's already uploaded, you will just select it. And so I'm going to select this one. Set your alt text, your title, and then set product image. And you'll see that here. And then product gallery would be if you have secondary images that you want to show, you can include them here. I'm going to I think I might have used the workbook, but that's okay. Add to gallery. Oh, no, I did the journal. Good. And then attributes, if you have attributes, they will probably show up here. And then template, this you can also change the layout just like you can here. So it's the exact same thing. If you have an email service provider integrated, you can configure stuff here. If you have the brand section configured from over here, you'll have stuff to do here. This is an alt text plugin I have, so we're going to ignore that. And a secondary image, if you just had one other image, you could attach it here. I prefer the gallery, and I'll show you why. So then it'll list all the other pictures underneath here. So if you have a bunch, it'll list them all, and you can click through and actually change them on the main one, and you can zoom in, which is kind of cool. So you can get the different ideas of what is included with the product, which is fantastic. So you can see this is pretty easy for adding a new product, and you can actually get some products listed in your shop really, really quickly. Once you've gone through both sections there, you're going to scroll back to the top and you are going to save draft if you're not ready to publish, or you can publish if you're ready to publish. And if I hit publish here, it's going to take us to the top of the page once it's published, and it's going to give us an option to view the product right here. Open in a new tab. And so this one I actually didn't set up as the canvas. I set it up as theme, which you saw. And so my theme adds this bar to the right side. So maybe I don't love that, and maybe I don't want that showing. It's also showing what's in the cart. I mean, it's not bad, but I kind of don't want people getting distracted. So I would probably go back over here and I would go down to this section and click this. It's going to bump me back to the top. And I'm just going to make sure that the selection stuck, which it did. You can see the gray line around it. And then I'm going to click update. And then it's going to do the same thing. Once it updates, it'll bump us to the top and give us an option to view the page. This is it changed now that I changed it to the canvas, so it's just this product on the page. So that's it. That's how you can easily add a digital product to your WooCommerce shop. You're just going to add the plugin, and then you can start adding the products after you configure your payments. And once that's set up, you can start selling right away. So I usually tell my students that they can start selling within the same day if they're prepared and they have some products ready. Happy selling, and I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe below.